Hi, welcome to Record Time. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that you're here. And this week is interesting because I have been really trying to think of what to ask, what topic to explore today, and I could not think of anything. So I just opened the records and asked what question or topic wants to be explored today. And it was the truth. That's the theme or topic that wants is volunteering to be the topic for today's Record Time. So hi, nice to see you. So yeah, that's what we're going to dive into, is the truth, and see what the masters, teachers, and loved ones have to say about that. And as I tune in, feel free, if you're able to and if it's safe, you can close your eyes or at least take a luxurious breath. Perhaps you've been holding your breath without realizing it. I do that all the time. So I'm asking them, what is the nature of truth? And this is truth with a capital T, the truth. What is the nature of truth? I feel like they all just burst into laughter when I asked that question. And it's funny because they offered the topic to me. Hello. So nice to see you all. We're exploring truth as it's seen in the Akashic Records. Truth with a capital T. And this is very fitting, as it's a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the truth seeker. So yeah, it's very, very fitting topic. So I asked, what is the nature of truth? And the masters, teachers, and loved ones just started laughing, and I can see they're doing cartwheels and just laughing, and some of them are doubled over with laughter. They're like it's a joke. It's the ultimate it's the ultimate cosmic joke, is that this quest for the truth, the ultimate truth, what a spiritual seeker, almost, whether consciously or unconsciously, it's they're dedicating their life to this search of truth. It's a total joke, and it's an illusion, and it doesn't exist. And I feel so hesitant saying that because it sounds like such a wild, extreme, and bold statement. But that's what they're saying. I'm just conveying what they're saying at this time. And yeah, it's so funny. And it's a waiver, a contract almost. And they're how on contracts, human contracts, it's this is subject to change. And they're the universal contract is that the truth is subject to change. It's it is so amorphous, and it is so formless that it's just pulsating and shifting all the time. And so if you are indeed a seeker who is looking for an ultimate truth, they're saying this is an invitation to reassess the motivation of your seeking. why are you seeking? Because the ultimate truth, this like, yeah, and I see why they're calling it an illusion, because, you know, I was doing this for like the vast majority of my life, this like quest for the truth, this one answer that was gonna fix everything and just solve all my problems. And I didn't know what it would be. I think it's what I was looking for. And they're like, there is no one solution to all of life's perceived problems. It's just, life is here, and truth is subjective, and it's moving. And the joy and the delight of the seeker is to keep pursuing this like shifting, elusive truth, and to see it in as many forms, in as many shapes as you can. And that's a really interesting and like weird like way to think about it. But they're saying if the truth is always shifting, the delight of a seeker is to see the truth in as many different forms as they can. So it's like a never-ending game. It's not a burden. Finding the truth, the quest for the ultimate truth, shouldn't be heavy. It's not your job to find it. And if it doesn't feel fun to you, don't do it. Because it's not there, is what they're saying. I'm so hesitant to say that. They're like, it's not there. The ultimate truth isn't there. And if that's what your heart is set on, you're gonna just be disappointed because you're not gonna be able to find it. And so if you take on this burden of spiritual seeking, if that's how you approach spiritual seeking, as like this burden to find the ultimate truth, it's going to be a very disappointing and long and difficult journey. But if you take it on knowing that it's a never-ending game and that there's treasures, infinite treasures along the path, then it's very, very fun. Because instead of seeing like the game as you spend the whole time, it's like a Mario thing. It's like instead of like going through the whole game to find the one truth at the end, it's like the whole dynamic of the game changes, and you know that truth is everywhere. There's like these little gems, hidden gems of truth all over, and you get to pick up as many as you can. So instead of, if we're going with this Mario metaphor, which they're showing me kind of clearly, they're like, instead of waiting, you know, to find the one star in the game at the end of the level, think of the truth instead as the coins, which are all over the level and in hidden places and in obvious places. So think of the truth more as like these fun things you get to collect on the way, and that way you're delighted all the time, because the truth is, it's everywhere, and it's fun to find if you see it as infinite forms instead of just one thing. So they're saying don't limit the truth to be one thing. Allow it to have many, many different ways of being, different ways of seeing the truth, different ways of relating to truth. And again, yeah, they're saying change the dynamic. If you feel heavy-hearted in your spiritual seeking, if it feels hard and painful to be a seeker, then this is your loving invitation to change that dynamic and think of it like a game and not a burden. And this quote is coming to mind. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist, says that the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. And I love that quote because it's so true. And I think when we approach spiritual seeking, with this burden mentality of like, I'm on a quest to find the ultimate truth, the answer to the universe, the nature of the universe, the truth of the universe. You have to remember and settle into that humility and humor that the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. And then I like to add to that you are under no obligation to make sense of the universe. If you don't like making sense of it, if you don't like this game of spiritual seeking, don't do it, because that's all it is a game. It's a fun thing. It's meant to be a delightful experience, an adventure into the unknown and into your own depths of being. And if it's not fun to you, do not do it, because you are under no obligation to make sense of the universe, just as it is under no obligation to make sense to you. Do you have any questions by chance? And I hope that made sense. I think that's the full length of the message for today. Yeah, that was really interesting. I'd never thought to ask that question before, and I love that it's in this perfect timing on being on this Sagittarian full moon, as Sagittarius is the truth seeker. So interesting. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I so appreciate your presence and your ears. I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful night or day wherever you are. Until next time, namaste.